EPIA domenuzomo. Wahia baby negekai. EPIA san. Bara. Sanoblare pavao. Isako Wamowode. Is your son the founder president of Edo Progressive Indigenous Association, popularly known as Edo Indigenous Movement Worldwide? I have brought this broadcast to us to discuss a very positive matter that will affect you and I and our generations yet unborn. Firstly, I want to thank each and every member of Edo Indigenous Movement Worldwide who has contributed tirelessly to make sure that Edo Indigenous people's agenda are prioritized in every walks of life. I want to thank the members of the executive of Edo Indigenous Movement and the members of the committees and the women of Edo Indigenous Movement as well. We want to say we thank you for hanging on and for believing in EPIA and believing in our ancestral unity. Secondly, I want to use this opportunity to call on each and every one of us who has been taking their time to study EPIA to determine whether or not this is a credible or transparent organization that they can partake in. I want to say I understand with you. I want to say I completely relate to the reason why most of you have to take your time before you begin to participate fully in this movement. And I know that all this is related to our previous experiences, and of which our previous experience has a lot to do with our future. I want to use this opportunity to inform you that this is a brand new day and that EPIA has thought about this very carefully before floating this organization. And this movement is free to all Edo Indigenous people worldwide, so long as your ancestral trace from your mom or your dad is from Edo State. You are an automatic member of this movement. So I will encourage us to stop dragging our feet, to fully participate in this movement. One of the most important vision of this movement is unity amongst the Esans, the Benins, and the Afemais. And we will not fall asleep until that vision is accomplished, so that one day the Esans and the Benins and the Afemais will come together to celebrate the Edo Indigenous Festival, and it will be a generational habit for each and every one of us. I want to also call on all the organizations that is from Edo State or that is affiliated to Edo State to join hands with Edo Indigenous Movement without any prejudice or any sentiments, for each and every one of us to conquer this mentality of discrimination, segregation, and disunity. I know fully well that if our Edo people are ready to do anything, they can even do it more than required. So therefore, I ask each and every one of you to shake yourself out of that thoughts that is negative about whatsoever the Edo people organize. Because as for Edo Indigenous Movement, the result is in the future, as this is a generational movement. Like I said before, I do understand sometimes we might worry about where the vision is going. I have always said it that the vision of this movement is the priority of this movement. We love every Edo Indigenes, and every Edo Indigenes is our priority. On that note, we are currently looking forward to put up the Edo Indigenous People's Discount Program. By working closely with all Edo Indigenous business owners and all our partners that we are looking forward to enter some understanding with within now and in the future. So therefore, we will be looking forward to set up a committee that will help us to foster the Edo Indigenous Movement Cardholders Discount Program. So what that means is whenever you patronize any Edo Indigenous business, you will automatically have 10% discount because you have Edo Indigenous ID card. I want to also use this opportunity to call on every Edo Indigenous business owner to get ready because we will soon be knocking on your door for you to join hands with us to make this work in order for us to prioritize our indigenous transactions or patronage. We will soon be reaching out to each and every one of you that is a Edo Indigene that has a business for you to help to see how you can possibly discount your business, discount your goods or services that you render for Edo Indigenes. And I will kickstart this program in January, where I will declare 10% discount for every Edo Indigenous card holder that patronizes Canada World Conglomerate. And I will also encourage you that as soon as we set up this committee will be reaching out to all the Edo Indigenous business owners. They might not probably be able to reach out to all of them, but they will start from somewhere. I want to plead with you that when they reach out to you, in order for us to stand as a role model to promote the interests of our people or to foster Edo Indigenous people's agenda, we will encourage you to kindly subscribe to discounting your goods or services for Edo Indigenous people. Rather than complaining about Edo state or Edo people as an Edo Indigene, it is our responsibility to start contributing our own quota by contributing our own quota first. I want us to know that it is important for all of us to stop criticizing our state because, like the Edo Benin people will say, I'm your anofuna. So every state, every country have their classified problems. But it is the responsibility of its indigents or citizens to protect and promote the positive part of their own state so that they can attract a better state, or they can attract better things to their own state. I understand that most of us are already very addicted to entertaining negative news or negative matters that affect our states. But I will tell you something, that if you pay careful attention, that there are a lot of good news as well as the bad news. So EPIA has decided and chosen to foster the good news from our homeland and to promote the good part of our people. So let's join our hands together and make it work. Furthermore, I call on all the Edo Indigenes and EPIA members worldwide not to give up with promoting the upcoming Edo Indigenous Global Festival. Let us all use this opportunity to motivate ourselves by contributing our quota to help foster the success of the upcoming Edo Indigenous Festival. Here is how we can contribute to it. We can start by subscribing to the program that to the financial contribution that the chairman Edo Indigenous Working Festival Committee has put in place. We cannot do this without your financial support. I will beg of you to make it as your own, because really and truly it's your own. Wherever Edo Indigenes is mentioned, you are mentioned. Let us prove to the world that we can unite once again. How do we unite? Let's contribute a little bit into our financially into this festival success. As you all know, EPIA does not pressure its members financially, but we want to see each and every member of Edo Indigenous movement to contribute financially towards this Indigenous festival. We know how difficult it is at the moment of this pandemic that is ravaging the world. But by His grace, we will emerge in good health. I want to thank you for tuning to this broadcast, and I will look forward to your contribution on that towards the festival, the Edo Indigenous Festival, as we progress with this whole proceed. Speak to your brothers and sisters about EPIA, about Edo Indigenous movement, and let us all come together as one to foster the interests of Edo Indigenous movement. This movement has come to stay from generation to generation. Nothing can stop it. It's a breakless train that is magnetic. It has magneted you. It will continue to magnet each and every one of our brothers and sisters. God bless you as you take a huge part of the Edo Indigenous movement. Oba Atokwe, he said.